Grab your favorite cup. We're about to pour you a glass of the most wholesome drink.
Our goal is to amplify marginalized voices through subjects that matter.
We will do this by discussing subjects that are uplifting, gainful, and truthful, no matter how uncomfortable they may be, in hope of gaining clarity and invoking progressive change.
Of course, we'll sprinkle on some off-color topics to make our discussions more palpable.
Welcome to Urban Proper. All right, we are back again for another episode.
Episode tree up in here.
Up in here. Up in here.
Yes.
Okay, so what is on the table for today?
And then there was sex.
Ooh, say it again.
And then there was sex.
Ooh, say it again.
And then there was sex.
Ooh. I hope y'all got that Lion King reference.
I hope so. If not, y'all need to go back to the 90s and reevaluate your life.
If not, don't wait. June, whatever the date is, Beyonce will be making her grand appearance as now.
Simba. Beyonce?
Oh, okay. Have you seen the trailer?
I have this magical.
Have you seen the one with Beyonce though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like with her actually speaking?
Like Simba. She sounds like typical Beyonce though.
Come home. I was shook.
Take your rightful place
as king. I wonder if that's how she talked to her kids at night.
She probably a whole different Beyonce though.
Like legitimately.
She probably is a whole
We don't even know
Beyonce.
her mother.
We don't know her at all.
Okay, anyway, after that moment of whatever, yeah, we talking about sex today, y'all.
Sex.
Y'all heard how the last episode ended.
Hit it from the back.
What was it? Making rough,
passionately rough sex to a man's booty hole.
That shit fucked me up. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So we're gonna continue that conversation today and talk about sex.
Sex. What is sex?
What is sex, sheesh?
Well, sex means different things for different people, of course.
That it does.
Yes, sex in a traditional sense is vaginal intercourse. Mm-hmm. But to a lot of people, oral sex is sex.
We love a good oral moment.
Anal sex is sex.
We love a good anal moment. Are we gonna make it through this episode?
I don't know.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Above all, sex is healthy. Sex is a natural thing to do. It's a natural thing to experience. It's a natural thing to desire. It is a part of our human nature. People find that sex is meaningful in different ways. Some people don't give a damn about sex. Mm-hmm. Some people really give a damn about sex. Some people are addicted to sex. Mm-hmm. But whether you're straight, lesbian, gay, bisexual, or any part of the queer spectrum or questioning, you have the right to decide what sex means to you.
Yes.
Not only are you defining yourself and your sexuality, you're defining your definition of sex.
Yes.
Can I get some ASMR snaps? Thank you, bitch. Thank you.
Yes.
Sex is pretty much anything that you feel like is sexual.
So, like, if I walked up to you right now and rubbed your boob, no, but like, genuinely, like, touching to some people is like sex.
Touching to some people is sex.
Yeah.
To me, not necessarily.
It depends. I am of the mindset that touching is a very sexual thing, depending on the type of touch.
It can be very sexual.
But
to consider it sex?
Maybe like pre-sex?
Pre-sex.
Like, like for some reason the word is escaping me. Foreplay, that's what I was talking about. Pre-sex. Sex before the sex.
We're just going to call it pre-sex in this episode.
For the rest of this episode, foreplay is now called pre-sex.
No.
But like, I'm mostly talking about like the type of touch. Yeah. Like, if you were to go up to the person you are ready to have intercourse with, mm-hmm. and you rub their chest a certain way, or you they're sitting down and you caress their leg a certain way. So to some people, Y'all, she just looked me dead in my eyes when she did that.
If y'all haven't noticed yet, I am a just a fool. I'm a fool.
A fool. And that's why this works, because I'm a fool too.
Exactly.
But yeah, like I feel like anything leading up to sex, before the actual intercourse happens, is sex. Okay. It's pre-sex. It's like, it gets you ready. It gets it builds the anticipation.
It gets the juices
flowing. It makes the juices flow. The nipples are hard. The penis is hard. Everything is hard.
Engorged. The phallus is ready.
The phallus is ready. The buttholes are ready. Throats have been lubricated. Like, we are ready.
If you haven't noticed by now, put the kids up.
Put the kids away.
Put your headphones on, please.
Ain't no trigger warnings for this episode, but we are
just diving in.
This is explicit. This is not child-friendly content.
No.
Okay.
Not. So define what sex means to you.
So, sex to me is any interaction, intercourse, a physical moment when any type of arousal is happening.
Okay.
So to me, I'm not always having sex, like actual, like what people think is sex, like penetrative sex.
Okay.
But if I'm just laying in the bed with my man and we want to jack each other off, that's sex.
Hey.
Like, it's, it's a moment where we are both.
I'm sorry, I was not expecting that.
It's like mutual masturbation is sex, like oral, like giving a blowjob or eating vagina. Cunnilingus, as they call it.
Cunnilingus.
Fellatio is sex. Like, yes. all of those things that get you to the point of wanting to actually penetrate. Okay. And then penetration is sex.
You know what? I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said. Pre-sex, you're lubricating those engines.
Yes.
Getting the phallus ready.
I can't be ready to have penetrative sex if we don't have the pre-sex first. Like, if
so you've never had a quickie?
I mean, I have, but I have enjoyed it way less. I don't ever get that rush from sex unless there's pre-sex.
See, it depends on who it is. Like, sometimes you get that little quickie in, and it's all you needed to clear your mind.
This is true.
Just to release, whatever fluids were backed up, and just real quickly and get on with your business.
Right.
But I feel you, the essentialness of warming up your engines. I'm sorry, I keep going back to it.
Sometimes you gotta go outside on a 20-degree day and turn that car on.
Ooh. On that engine, dust that ice off.
Scrape that bitch a little bit, But also, like, we both know that I didn't have sex for a really long time.
Yeah.
And that's because it's hard for me to be sexual with another person when I'm not wanting that pre-sex, that interaction. Sex for me is a whole thing. Like,
it is, and it used to be for me, but I kind of went through this sexual awakening that Darius is really proud of in the last couple of years.
I just have been living.
Yes. So it's like, my idea of sex was a certain way, my idea of relationships were a certain way, and then it shifted, and I started experiencing new things, and
tea, honey, tea.
Oh
boy. Oh. And see, like, I could go around and give a blowjob all day, all week. Do not give a fuck. Like, that ain't no thing for me.
I know my face is just like, I'm trying not to laugh. I'm just goofy.
I will put my face in your genitals. I do not care. But for me to want to be passionately involved with you in actual, like, lovemaking, rough sex, whatever, if you want to just be dick down like that, is a whole other experience for me, and I can't throw myself into that,
Yeah.
But I'll put my face in your genitals. Okay.
All day long.
All the way down to the base, bitch. I don't give a fuck.
You ain't swagging if you ain't gagging.
Bitch, I said that 7 years ago and it has not gone away.
It's stuck.
If you ain't gagging, you ain't swagging.
At all.
That's the real tea, y'all. Okay. So, Sheesh, what is sex to you?
I agree with everything you said, except for we kind of are different with how we get our engines running. Mm-hmm. And I think I was such, like I was talked about, I think in episode 1, was on this path of, being a quote unquote good girl.
Yep, I remember because I laughed that time too.
Growing up in the church and being a granddaughter of a pastor, you're taught to be a wholesome woman. So I was like, I'm gonna be a wholesome woman. But I started to realize I like some things, kind of like little smack, little choke, and little little mira papi and all that. Stop.
Little Papa G.
We're not gonna be able to do this.
We're not gonna make it through. Okay, I promise I'm gonna behave.
Okay. Get together.
What's that? Okay.
Now, where was I?
You were talking about
little smack, little choke.
Right.
Mira papi.
Right.
And I started, discovering my freaky side and what I actually like, and listening to, and not even just listening to and acting on my desires. Mm-hmm. Opened up a lot of doors sexually for me. Mm-hmm, and just,
we live it, we love it.
Yeah, and it's just like now it's like on some hot girl shit.
Hot girl season.
Nah, I ain't just out here giving this to nobody. Just anybody. Just to clear that up. But on some hot girl shit, it's mm-hmm. I get the engine going a little bit,
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
I felt like I was coming into my sexual awakening around last year. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I still have blossomed into it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, not that I have been afraid of anything with sex, because, bitch, I don't give a fuck. But,
I feel like we have to define sexual awakening.
Yes. Let's give some clarity to the moment.
Clarity.
All right.
Okay. So go ahead. I'll let you explain.
So a sexual awakening is, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, it's when you finally, not necessarily wake up, mm-hmm. but for lack of a better term, wake up to your own personal desires and feelings, and then act upon them.
It's like you're coming into your...
It's like coming of age, but with sex.
It's not necessarily sexual awakening. Is not losing your virginity. Let's clear that out.
That is not what we're going to talk about virginity in this episode. But sexual awakening is after you have lost your virginity.
Yes.
Sexual awakening.
Yes. It's just like you realize what you want, and you're able to express what you want. And you're able to act on what you want.
It is sexual confidence.
There you go.
It is the confidence to be like, I want you to do this, and this thing to me, and I want to do this, and this thing to you. And if you don't like that, bam, I'll find somebody to do. We love that. We love sexual confidence here on the Urban Proper Podcast. We love sexual
awakenings.
Yes. Whew, this episode is real hot, y'all. I should have brought my fan.
There's still a fan going.
Oh, it's still too spicy.
Oh, my God.
I feel like a white person that ate ketchup. I think I should eat some Gushers.
You just love things starting in your mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
So just to kind of talk about virginity, since that's what we were talking about, how sexual awakening is not losing your virginity.
Yes.
Let's talk about the social construct of virginity.
Virginity is a social construct, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It is spoken of as something that is a tangible thing that is given or taken freely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In doing so, we commodify the sexual body and allow it to determine our worth, whether we've lost our sexual purity or if it was taken by someone else. Mm-hmm. It's objectifying.
Oh my God. I never even thought about that until now.
Yeah, and I feel like with women, it's a gift. It's a gift. We're not pure if we don't have it. It's something that we're supposed to carry on to marriage. Mm-hmm. Body counts. Supposed to have a little body count. But with men, at 13, your daddy like, hey, you need to get your dick sucked.
Right.
Or you ain't trying to get them draws.
You ain't trying to hit nothing? Yeah. I was just literally talking about that to my Uber driver today. I was like, as men, mm-hmm. and I feel like it's really a thing for young black men that if you ain't hit nothing by the time you're in your 20s, what are you doing? Are you gay?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when you step to your daddy and be like, oh, I've been knocking some doors down. Back doors. Ew. But no, like that's that whole idea of as a man you should be conquering.
Mm-hmm.
You should
conquering and sowing.
Yes, you should be taking these things. You should be and like, ew, that's disgusting. It is such a toxic idea. And can we open up the black box real quick?
Mm-hmm.
And we gonna throw in, I hope y'all like that nice little sound effect of the gospel choir singing from the black box. We are gonna just peek and take out the idea of black men having to be conquerors in the bedroom. We're gonna take that out of the black box. Because while it is great that you have sexual prowess and you should be using that for good, the idea of it,
if that's having to be standard.
Yeah, having to be standard, and the idea of it in general is just like real toxic. Like,
yeah, and it's a double standard. And I mean, sometimes double standards work in the favor of women, but in most cases, it works against women.
Yes, it does. Absolutely, 100%.
Yes. So go on Facebook and tell me what you think about virginity. You think it's something that is a tangible thing and it should be considered a gift, or you think it's just a social construct that we should throw out? So let us know. And while we're on the topic of sex and double standards, when it comes to sexual education, okay, let's talk about this.
Yes.
Now, I've always gone to either predominantly white schools or very diverse schools. So when coming up, growing up, I had sex ed classes. I had it, I think I was in the 5th grade.
Okay.
5th grade?
5th grade?
Yeah, 5th or 4th grade. They taught us about our periods.
That's...
Yeah.
I have gone to predominantly not white schools and what we like to call poor black schools. The only sex ed I remember in 5th grade was ABC, and that was abstinence by choice. And that was not it didn't teach us anything about sex at all. It didn't tell us about condoms. It didn't tell us about, it just was like, don't have sex. And here's why you shouldn't have sex. And lo and behold,
because your dick fall off.
Your dick will fall off.
Okay.
You will get syphilis and die. Like, that's what, and so.
And I think that shies people away from actually experiencing their sexual awakening. A lot of people don't experience their sexual awakening until later because things like that. Because
of classes like ABC that teach you not to have sex.
Yeah. And I think having sex when you're ready, when you're mature, is a great thing. Whenever you want to have sex, whether I'm not promoting teenage sex, but if you feel like you found the one at 15 and you want to have sex, you talk to your parents about it, you do the right thing with preparing yourself, by all means do it. If you want to wait till you're 25, do it. If you want to wait till you're married, do it.
Yep.
It's your body.
I often, and I want to say a little something about the your body thing.
Okay.
I always tell my friends who are older, who are around my age, that are still virgins, how I'm like, I wish that I had waited a little bit longer to lose my virginity, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I started watching porn at a very young age, but porn don't really teach you shit. Like, it gives you as a kid, it doesn't, because you're like, okay, well, I've never seen a vagina in person before.
True.
So where do I actually stick it in? Like, you know?
That is true. Because you got a lot of people trying to stick their penis in your urethra and it doesn't work like that.
And it's like, no, honey, that's not where that goes. How would you feel if I stuck something in your urethra?
A lot of people like that, but we're gonna...
Oh, right. That's
a lot of people like that. We shall not kink shame.
We will not kink shame.
No.
However, to go back to the topic that you were saying, it's your body. Yes, and consent is 100% necessary every time you are going to have any kind of sexual contact with any person ever.
And listen, even if you're in the middle of the act of sex, you can always withdraw your consent.
Yes, absolutely.
And the person that's on the receiving end of their consent being withdrawn, you must respect that. Because if you don't, you're the big R word.
Yep.
And that's rapist.
you're a fucking rapist.
Yes.
And we don't support that here.
We don't support that here. We don't support that here. No. We're all about consent. You can withdraw your consent. You can be balls deep in her, and she gonna say stop.
Why was I about to say the exact same thing?
Yes.
Like literally, I was about to say you could be balls deep in her, and she could say no.
Yeah,
like,
she could change her mind.
She
can be straddling you and taking it all in, and you say no, and she has to get off too.
It could be your first time with somebody that you really like, and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm too nervous to do this.
Exactly.
It is your body, it is your choice. You are allowed to make the decision with what you do with your body and who you do it with. ASMR snaps for dogs.
Yes, but back to, we had an ADD moment. We're gonna bring it back.
We're gonna take it back.
So sexual ed classes. They teach the girls about themselves to teach the guys about themselves. But I think it's very important as parents and as educators to sit down and really have a conversation with men about menstrual cycles. Because I can't tell you how much dumb shit I've heard as an adult of being on my period.
Can I just say some things that you probably have heard?
Go ahead.
That women can control their menstrual cycles. That you only have a menstrual cycle when you're not eating properly, and like that. Fuck, I've heard some dumb shit that like. How
do you not die? How do you not pass out for bleeding 7 days?
Oh yeah, I have heard that one. I took it upon myself to look up menstruation and what a menstrual cycle was, because I lived in a house with 2 women, and I was like, okay, well, no, I didn't need pants. What's happening? Yeah. And I don't know all of it. I'm not a woman, so I don't really understand most of it. But I took it upon myself to be like, okay, well, these are the basics. Yeah. I'll learn from a woman someday, because I've had all female friends my entire life. About it, and I wish that more men would take the initiative to be like, okay, let me understand why my girlfriend or my friend or whoever just flipped out on me because she's on her period. And not.
Well, let me stop you there. You can't always blame a woman flipping out on her period. You can't. Maybe you're just a dumbass and you doing some dumb shit.
Maybe you just fucking up.
But we do experience hormonal changes. We do become more sensitive during that time with ovulation and PMS. We do experience a lot. Our body goes through a lot. Women go through a lot.
Women go through a lot.
Yes. A lot. So your body basically punishes you for not being pregnant. And then you go through hell if you are pregnant.
Your body's like, oh, no baby this month?
Yes.
Bleed,
bitch.
Bleed, bitch.
Yes, I fixed up your uterus for you. I was ready for a baby.
I made a house
for your baby, and you gave me nothing.
I made a house for your baby. I brought the eggs. How dare you? You know what? Everything has to go. Take it all away.
Take it all away.
Because for those men who don't know, it's not just blood that comes out when a woman is on her period.
Yes.
Isn't it like the eggs and like the uteral lining comes out as well, and like all kinds of stuff is coming out of there, and it's like, girl, we're not just bleeding down there.
No, it's a lot going on.
My uterus literally decorated itself for a baby, and now it has to get rid of all these decorations.
Tearing down all the wallpaper.
That's a really fucked up way to describe that, but like hopefully men understand it now.
I mean, you gotta break it down really.
Gotta break it down real low.
Terms, yes.
But also, I was about to say something and I totally threw myself off talking about becoming a uterine interior decorator. Damn, what was I about to say?
But teach your kids before they go to school and they have this, when they're coming of age and they're at the normal age, sit down and talk to your kids about it.
Yeah.
Because with boys, it's a little different. Puberty, it's not really a significant thing except for wet dreams.
Wet dreams happen, but that's just like a thing. Like it.
Yeah.
You know, and it ain't like a regular monthly thing. It's one night you have a real naughty dream and then you wake up wet and it's like, oh, what is this?
Yeah. I mean, you have a conversation with your kids about sex, because that's That's one, especially if they go to a school that doesn't teach it. In a lot of schools,
a lot of schools these days are not teaching sex ed at all.
Yeah, they're not teaching sex eds, especially with all these laws being passed about. We'll get to that later in the episode.
Yes.
But it's very important for you to sit down and you have that discussion with your kids. No matter how embarrassing it's going to be to you, to them, it's a part of life.
It shouldn't be embarrassing. And I think that's the issue that we're having with not having sex ed classes, with not talking to our children about sex, is that sex has become so taboo that we got to keep our kids. We can't tell them about that until they're old enough. And it's like, well, yeah, wait until they're old enough to understand. Wait until these things are kind of happening for them. But also, don't be so scared to be like, okay, so sex is a thing that happens. You're gonna meet somebody someday. Your dick is gonna get hard. Your pussy's gonna get wet. Don't say it to them like that. But
no.
It's it's a thing, and just explain to them how it happens. Like. We need to erase the taboo on sex.
Yes.
We really, really do.
It's how they got here. It's how you got here. It's how the grandkids that you want are going to get here.
Yep.
Sex.
Yep. Yes.
So it's a conversation that needs to be had. And I can't even tell you, having sex with people, right? How many
As opposed to what? Sorry, I just had to be an asshole.
You just really did. No. Having sex with men and going through the things that I have gone through in my 20s, because I lost my virginity later in life. People really didn't believe that I lost my virginity when I was, 20. They were like, oh my God, I don't know, just the way I talk, maybe.
I didn't, but eventually it made sense. Like, the more I got to know you, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I've always had
You've always been wholesome.
Wholesome? Yeah, but I had a mouth on me.
Yeah, but I mean, in the way you carried yourself.
True.
You've always, and you still do. Like, even though you're a sexual deviant now.
Darling, I was always a sexual deviant.
You've always carried yourself with the manner of a woman.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm batting my eyes, guys. What was I talking about? Oh, but men not knowing about the woman's anatomy either is, each vagina is different. Trust me, guys. Vaginas is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
And same goes with dicks too.
Yes.
Everybody's dick is different.
You got some that curve. You got some that look like mushroom heads, like Darth Vader heads.
You got anteaters out here in these streets.
I've never run to an anteater, thank God.
I haven't, but I'm interested in it.
Veiny ones, pink ones,
brown chocolate ones.
My favorite. But no, it's just a lot of things that you just have to, that education has to be there. It's hygiene as well on both ends.
Yeah, I just want to say to men, wash your. Ooh, that's not what I was going to say, but yes. Now that's a double-sided thing for me because sometimes I like it, but.
Wash your balls.
Wash it. Wash
until
them.
You know what your partner's preference is.
And
wash your balls.
And it's not I want them dirty, disgusting. You ain't showered in a few weeks, but like that end of the day, right before you're about to, is like a day is fine, like a full 24 hours. Not like I ain't washed my balls in weeks. That's nasty. You smell like a teenage boy. Go shower right now.
I like my balls fresh.
Fresh and clean. I mean, that's cool too.
Just so clean.
I like the smell of a man sometimes. I don't know what it is. Men, stop being so afraid to go to the store for your significant other or your mom or your sister to pick up feminine hygiene products.
Yes. We're talking about tampons, pads, panty liners.
Anything. Like my mom is asking
Diva cups.
My mom is like, Diva cups are so weird to me.
They're a weird concept to me too.
I don't understand it.
I don't think I necessarily understand it.
I would go and get one if whoever needed one. I ain't like my mom has asked me several times, and then she'll like renege on it and be like, "No, you don't need to be going to buy that." And I'm like, "I've done it before. Like, all you gotta do is tell me what you need. I can read."
It's a normal thing. Like buying condoms. Why is buying condoms so weird?
It's so funny. I felt nervous the first time I ever bought condoms.
I just buy condoms. I just throw them over there. And
well, now I'm just like, let me get a 10-pack, but like, I mean, you gotta keep them
long. Long time.
You gotta keep them strapped.
Okay.
But you know, it was weird the first time I went and bought condoms. I was also very young.
Whore. No, just kidding. We're not whore shaming either.
Wow, no whore shaming, no slut shaming, no kink shaming.
No, yeah, none of that. No, none of that. So yeah, I mean, I bought condoms before, and I mean, I've got some funny looks. Everybody be like, "This little hoe," and I'm like, "Bitch, I ain't gonna get pregnant.
Right.
I ain't no STDs."
Also, I think it's stupid for people to rely on the person that they're gonna have sex with. Like, if it's your partner, somebody that you've been with forever, and y'all keep condoms, both of you.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
But if you going over somebody's house that you ain't never met before,
because it happens. Let's be adults.
Yeah, like they might not have any because they were expecting you to have them, or
stop slut shaming women for having condoms.
Yes.
Please.
Like, yes, let her carry her condoms. Let her keep her condoms on her because she wants to be safe and protected.
Yes. She don't want no baby. She ain't ready for no baby.
She ain't ready for no baby or no STD.
But you can't get STDs
with condoms. You're true. You're right.
You can. Sexual education will tell you that.
Well, I ain't had none of that, so.
The internet is about
I knew that. Jeez,
and while we're on the subject of talking about condoms, let's talk about this raw culture.
Oh boy.
Now, for those of you that are playing dumb with your significant other, or you sitting there with your mama and you trying to act like you don't know shit, you know what raw culture is.
Know what raw culture is.
Explain to you what it is. It is when you insert the phallus. When you put your penis inside a vagina with no condom.
No condom, no protection. Pull out game on 0. Shooting up the club. But raw culture, let's talk about this. So I have in my mind, and I know some of you guys are going to disagree with me. Okay, so like, you know, you in the heat of the moment, sometimes you might forget the condom. But I feel like, I'm not going to say nowadays because it probably was very prevalent. But now, you know, we have access to internet and social media and it's just out there. But I feel like people are raw dogging too many people at once. Way too many. Like
for me, if you have multiple partners,
you shouldn't be having raw sex with any of them. That's my personal opinion.
You should not. You should not. You're being selfish. Especially if you're not having a conversation.
Yeah.
You have to have a conversation. You have to be honest with your partner. Communications about not even your sexual needs, about who you're sexing, how many people you're sexing. That's just a conversation that needs to be had.
Yes, definitely. Don't let these little nasty people out here
get you caught up. And you catching the what they call it? Herpessyphilades. There you go.
That herpessyphilades.
That's some shit you can't get rid of.
You ain't herpessyphilades ain't going nowhere.
The blue waffle. But honestly, guys, in all seriousness, I feel like this is just
out of hand.
It
really is.
Like,
and this whole, I've heard several men talk about like, I won't have sex unless it's raw, and I'm like, okay, listen, I've had raw sex before.
Like 20 girls at the same time.
20 bitches at the same time. I've had raw sex before. It does feel extremely different than sex with a condom. However, I feel safer putting a condom on.
Yes.
I know that ain't shit gonna happen.
I've had raw sex when I was in a relationship. I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm this, sitting on a pedestal, like pointing my finger down at you.
You're a condom pedestal.
Raw dogging peasants. But I feel like it's something that is special.
I 100% agree with that. Because there's a level of trust you have to have with another person to have sex with them raw, and
I feel like people just don't give a fuck.
There are definitely some people out here that are just like, whatever.
Now, I mean, like if you have a situation and you having like a little menage a trois, you know what I'm saying, and y'all all cool with the raw stuff, by all means. But I feel like the conversations are not being had.
Yes, I think that's what. At the heart of this episode, always be open, honest, and upfront about what you want sexually. Yes, ASMR. Synapse.
Yes.
Consent to anything that you want to consent to or don't want to consent to, and always just kind of be sexually conscious of what you're doing.
Yes.
Have those conversations and
while we're on the subject of having conversations, during my sexual awakening, I have asked questions before engaging in sex with new people. I have asked the question, when was the last time you've gotten tested?
Yes.
But I have received so much backlash for asking that
specific question.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not surprised actually. I said really like I was surprised.
People get offended. Like, why are you getting offended about me asking when was the last time you got tested?
I want to make sure you are keeping yourself safe and keeping me safe at the same time.
Exactly. So like, it's not like I'm like, oh, when the last time you got tested and you asked me the same thing and I'm not going to give you the information. That's a conversation that I want to have. When was the last time you got tested? Okay, cool. It's in an appropriate time frame. I got tested within this time frame too. You want to see the results? Here you go. Blase.
Right.
No, I've had a guy, but well, fuck it then. I ain't even with it because that's just ridiculous. How dare you ask me about my business like that, sir? So you
have some kind of disease,
sir.
Like whoever you are, sir.
Thank
you
God
have some kind of disease
that you got mad about it, but
that's the only justifiable, and it's not even justifiable, but like that's the only reason I can think of that a person would get so offended by being asked when they got tested.
Yes, and it didn't happen just that one time. It's happened a couple of times. I sound like a little hoe. But anyway, it's happened a couple of times. Just ask, having a conversation with somebody and, being interested in having a sexual relationship with the person and asking that question, why are you offended?
Why are you offended by getting tested?
Yeah.
Are y'all out here getting tested? I need to get tested. But no, it's very important. Even when I wasn't having sex, I was getting tested.
Yeah, because you never know what happens. And I think that's the part of being sexually mature and a part of your sexual awakening, making sure you're getting tested, making sure you're having the conversations. That's just the adult thing to do. If I'm having sex with you and you're not the only person I'm having sex with, me personally, I'm gonna let you know that I'm over here smashing somebody else.
And that's the right thing to do. Like that is, if I'm having sex with multiple people, I'm like, all right. Even if I'm just sucking everybody's dick, I'm like, yeah, well, I did suck a dick last week, just so you know.
Just sucked a dick for breakfast, just so you know. You my demo.
This lunch, and I got another one lined up for dinner.
So just to let you know, if you with it.
I always like a double feature. But yes, please, black people, go out there and get tested.
Yes.
And
then while we're on the subject, everything is just like flowing into each other.
This episode is flowing
loving this episode. We're just like, whatever.
It's like butter.
It's like a what?
Butter.
Oh, okay.
The first time I ever masturbated was with butter.
I think you do need to eventually, because they need to see my facial expression. Because y'all, like in the Ice Cube movies, when like Friday in particular, when something crazy happened and Craig look off to the left at the camera, that's the thing that I do.
Yep, a lot.
So Darius just said he just masturbated with butter, and I look to the left at the camera that's not here.
That's not there.
No, but yeah. What? With butter, Darius?
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
If you want to ask them on the podcast, you can, or we can save that for later. So we can keep going.
Let's save that for later.
Okay,
like
cool.
You can't just be throwing monkey wrenches at me like that.
My style of podcasting is drop a tidbit every now and then just to see what happens.
Like you just knocked me on my ass.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not actually sorry.
Butter fingers. I'm gonna talk about these butter hands.
Oh no! What have I done?
Butter hands.
Oh, but it was great.
Hide the butter. Anyway, back to the topic.
Yes.
Honesty. sexual awakening. Faking orgasms. Whew. Now listen, ladies, and listen, men. The ego is a hell of a thing. Okay? I get it. I say, some off color shit about myself and my skills. But ego is a hell of a thing. Shut up, Darius. And I just think so many people are out here thinking they the shit in the bedroom and they're really trash. And I blame you, orgasm fakers. And I say that because if you know they not hitting it right, don't act like it. Don't act like it. Stop the madness. Fellas, you too, because I heard about you fellas faking it.
Really?
I mean, of course they got a condom on.
Oh, yeah.
And they, kind of hide it later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I've also never had to fake an orgasm, so.
Neither have I.
Oh.
No, I'm very vocal. Like, if it ain't, I'm stopping the whole show.
If it ain't the move.
No, except for this one time, we gonna keep it moving.
Okay.
Anyway,
but please stop faking orgasms.
Stop faking orgasms. Be honest about what you like, and then realize, folks, that your sex game or your sex style is not one size fits all. Yes. People like different things. Some people like to get their guts smashed in. Some people like to get their cervix busted wide the fuck open. Some people like it slow. Some people like rough sex. Different people like different things, and you have to be honest about that because they can possibly not be trash, but if you give them pointers and let them know what you like, it could enhance the situation.
Yeah, I always try to discuss with my friends who are not as sex confident or haven't reached their sexual awakening yet that it's okay, like you said, to be vocal about what you like or about what you're not good at, or like if some woman wants you to go down on her, be like, all right, tell me how you like it. Like, even if you feel like you are a professional, I'm always gonna be like, all right, how you like it? Like, because ain't nothing better than pleasing somebody the way they like it. It's like, for me, it's like a power struggle. And the more power, you hold more power when you are able to make somebody orgasm the correct way.
I feel like a goddess.
Let me tell you, deity status for real. For real.
This nigga said deity status.
Deity status.
So proper. Proper. But yes, it's a conversation that needs to be had, and I think that's another thing that we should just throw out as being sexually responsible adults. And if they get mad, let them get mad. Stop the show. Go on somewhere.
And if you are insulted by somebody saying that, I mean, they could just stop it in the middle and be like, wow, your sex is whack. And that can be frustrating. But also, maybe you should evaluate.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
It is how you say it. But so also,
check your delivery at the door.
Check your delivery. But also, men, check your stroke game. You ain't out here stroking everybody, right? I'm sorry. That's just not how it's going to happen.
Ask her how she want it. And ladies, if you like to get on the car and drive stick, ask them how they like it. And then another thing about driving stick, I've seen a lot of tweets. That's another thing. We just... we're
on Twitter now.
Yeah, we got a Twitter now. We had an issue with it. We got approved. We have Twitter, so follow us on Twitter at urban_proper.
I keep putting the underscore in every other spot than where it is.
Why? Don't make no sense.
I don't know. Like, I was typing it into my tweet this morning, and I was like, _urban_proper, or is it urban_proper_?
See, I thought about doing urban_proper_, but I was like, let me just put it in the middle.
Just throw it in the middle.
Just throw it in the middle.
But what were you saying? I was saying something. Oh, no. Also, you can follow us on our social media that already exists.
Yes.
Right after you follow us on Twitter at urban_proper. Yes. You can follow us on Instagram at Urban Proper Podcast.
Yes.
And on Facebook, also at Urban Proper Podcast.
Yes.
You can find all the information, all the tea, Leave your Black-owned businesses. Leave your sexual experiences. We want to hear.
Talk to us. We like to talk back.
We love
We're not
to
gonna
talk
bite
back.
you. I mean, I might a little bit. I like nibble. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna bite you. But we're not gonna bite you. We're not gonna go off on you unless you say something real crazy. But we want to hear back. We want to hear from you.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And then orgasms. Sex is a craft.
It is an art. Mm-hmm. I think particularly oral sex is something that you are not born with. Sorry.
Unless you're me, but
I mean,
like I said, I'm
again,
goddess.
deity status here.
Yes. We're royals.
Listen, royalty, no peasantry here.
No peasantry.
In the bedroom.
No.
But can I say this one?
Go ahead.
Everybody, let me get real close.
Please.
Everybody deserves multiple orgasms.
Bust a nut.
Several of them.
1, 2, 3.
5, 6, 10. Make
her cry.
Yo, boy.
Oh, you ain't doing it right if she ain't shedding that. Stella got her groove back too. That last Mohegan tear.
That one.
That
tear.
Glory Denzel Washington tear.
Yes. That Halle Berry. You want me to make you feel good? Ooh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna share a post on our Facebook page. Remind me to do this about actually sex, fellas, even women who like women. If you are not hitting her G spot, you are just jacking off in her vagina.
Oh my God, you said that to me the other day and I fucking lost it. Because that's so true.
Yes.
That is so true. Like, you're not giving her any pleasure.
No, you have to find her G spot. And that's, every woman's is different. You have to explore. You gotta hit that. You gotta switch up the angles.
Yeah.
You gotta listen to her hormones.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta listen. Yeah.
See, sex is also, it's not just about talking, it's about listening too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're performing cunnilingus.
Yes.
Listening to her moans. No teeth.
No teeth. Let me say that again because I like to repeat things that you say, but that's real teeth. No teeth.
No teeth.
Anywhere.
Vagina, penises. No
See,
teeth.
I don't mind a little scrape at the end.
Darius, you just so annoying.
I am.
You just so
I am. Not like a like don't bite my dick, but like sometimes it feel like when you're getting fellatio and it's just.
Why are you being so? This was me last episode. And I got some feedback. Was like, Shalisha, you are just being too boy to be your regular self. And I was like, bet.
All right, while you getting your motherfucking dick throated, got 3,000 in this motherfucker.
Got Superhead.
Sometimes it does feel good when there's that one little slip up and it just grazes the glands, the glands just a little bit, just the tip of the dick, just a little bit.
Well, I don't have a penis, so I can't.
Oh, well, you never know. Sorry.
So.
But don't use your teeth in anybody's vagina.
Do not.
Don't use your teeth specifically when giving a blowjob either. I'm not asking motherfuckers out here to bite it like a lollipop. Lil Wayne was wrong.
He said lick it like a lollipop.
Did he say lick it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he said it's look like a lollipop. I didn't know he was saying lick it.
I see. Let's look at lyrics, doctor.
Famous misheard lyrics.
Yes.
But yes, don't use your teeth. If you want to be an oral deity,
like
the Urban Proper podcast, then
that was the jam back in the day.
It really was. It really, really was.
She licked me like a lollipop.
Oh, Because I heard him say, so I let her lick the rapper, and I was like, well, why?
So I let her lick the rapper.
Why you let her lick the rapper and not the rest of it?
Shawty want a thug. Bottles in the club. Shawty want a hump. See, I didn't know they said Shawty want a hump right there.
Yeah, I thought it said Shawty want to love.
I like to touch your leg. See, my, no, where done happened? I done had an awakening. Shawty wanted the bottles in the club. Shawty want to hump. So you know I like to touch your lovely lady lumps. Did you know that was a lyric?
No, I did not know that was a lyric.
I really don't know what I thought he said at that point.
We clearly have been listening to the wrong song our entire lives.
Yeah. Anyway, but just listen to what your partner moaning feedback, and man, it is okay to moan.
Yes.
Please moan.
Please moan.
Tell me how good it is.
We like it. We like to hear it.
Tell me how good it is. I can't even take myself serious.
Oh my god.
Yes, moaning is not like the hyper masculinity shit, toxic masculinity shit. Throw that shit out. Moan.
Mm-hmm. Get rid of that shit.
Yay! Show her how good it is. Tell her ooh right there. That's what I was gonna talk about. So, fellas, if your girl's riding you and she's scooting like a baby, trying to scratch that itchy ass diaper, let her scoot because she's obviously hitting her G spot. So let her get hers off, and then you can, whatever you need to do.
You gotta do, power move.
Yeah.
I was once, when I was a young warthog. I was walking down the streets of the library. Mm-hmm. This is a funny story. As a teenager, this kid that went to high school with me, who was much younger than me, who was clearly gay. Everybody knew he was gay, whatever. And I was like kind of closeted, but not really. But like, I wasn't fucking around with nobody in the school. Mm-hmm. And he apparently was interested in me, and was like, his way of trying to get me to have sex with him was, they call me Jackrabbit because I just pound it. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not interested to begin with. Second of all, that just sounds like no fun for anybody, like, at all. And I mean, there is some people who want to be jackrabbited, but not this bitch.
I don't know who does.
But yeah, y'all, listen, sexual language is important.
It is.
And learn your sexual language as far as telling your partner what you like, and learn your partner's sexual language as far as learning what your partner likes.
And if you have multiple partners, be upfront and honest. I don't know how many times we need to say that.
So many. Just until the episode is over. Yeah. We should say it at least 20 more times.
We should.
Okay.
While we're on the subject of sex, a lot of times what happens during sex, either if it's on purpose or accidents, pregnancies occur. Mm-hmm. And a lot of laws have been passed recently that are limiting what women can, women's decisions on whether or not to keep a baby. Mm-hmm. Now, oftentimes there are a lot of instances, unfortunately, women get pregnant from rape, incest, or women get pregnant that they're not ready to have a baby. They're not ready to bring someone into this world and be responsible for a little human being, or the situation just isn't working out.
Right.
Whatever the reason, it's none of your motherfucking business. It's nobody's business but the woman who wants to have an abortion. Yes. And her reasoning is her reasoning, and it doesn't matter what her reasoning is, she is allowed. Yes. She is allowed. And there has been several states that have passed the heartbeat bill. Our good old Missouri is one of them. Oh, Missouri. Of course. Oh, misery. Oh, kill my misery. That's what Missouri is saying every time somebody has an abortion. Yeah. Louisiana was the most recent. Fuck, when did that happen? They're in the talks about it. But yeah, Louisiana became the next state to pass a heartbeat bill this week. So it happened between Monday and today. Jeez Louise. Today being Wednesday. Because we record on Wednesdays. Yeah. But they're saying that you can hear a heartbeat within 6 weeks. Now, I'm going to break it down to you. Oh, they said 6 weeks? You can hear according to them. But their bill is no abortions after 6 weeks? No, it's 8 weeks. It's 8 weeks, yes, okay. Yeah. But it had the mention of you can hear the heartbeat as early as 6 weeks. Right. A lot of women don't know they're pregnant at 6 weeks. A lot of women don't know they're pregnant at 8 weeks.
I've heard more women say that they didn't know they were pregnant until they were closer to 8 weeks than women who were like, oh, I knew at the time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of women who don't know until like months later because that's the thing about sexual education. Not all women stop having a period when they're pregnant.
Also, you have women who have uterine diseases who don't have a regular period, who could go months without having a period and then all of a sudden have one.
Yes. Polycystic ovary syndrome. We have women who have just hormonal changes. Yeah. A lot of women who start off with having normal periods and then stop, or a lot of women who are on birth control that don't have normal periods. You're on birth control. You don't think that you're pregnant, and that can happen. Yep. And it's just to limit women's ability. And then there's a clause of they're not making exceptions for rape cases. They're not making exceptions for incest. They're literally forcing women to have babies from a traumatic event that happened in their life.
And also, in many states, allowing the rapist to have custody of the child. Yes. Joint custody of the child. So now this woman has to not only have a child from a traumatic experience, but literally relive that experience every single day of their life.
Yes. Yes. That every time disgusting. They look at the child, every time they have to interact with their rapist, to pass their child off to this person, because legally, with some of these states, they are saying that the rapist has rights to this child. Of course, Missouri, I think, was the second to last state, according to the information that I have right here in front of me, to pass the bill. Even a lot of states are even prosecuting women or having criminal investigations on women that have miscarriages. Now, a lot of women they're unable to carry a baby to term. So with the combination of not knowing they're pregnant and find out they're pregnant after 8 weeks or 9 weeks or past it, and they can't have the baby, it's
sickening.
It is.
And not the drag term sickening. Like, it makes me physically ill to think of.
Yes. When I saw the Missouri pass the heartbeat bill, I just felt helpless. Yeah. Because I'm like, okay, what if, I get pregnant, I don't know. And I'm not ready to, at this stage of my life, I'm not ready to have a kid. I'm not ready to have a kid, so I find out past 8 weeks, you're going to make me keep this kid. Or who's to say that, people who, to me, there's so many struggles that women have who are unable to carry a child, and just people that are able to carry a child. Why are you putting the limitations on what women can do with their body?
Why are men deciding what women can do with their body?
Heterosexual cis white males.
Let's be specific as fuck about that. Why are heterosexual cis white men deciding what women all over the country can do with their bodies? I understand from a religious standpoint that is not something that people want to do. The separation of church and state is what this country was founded on.
Yes. That's the reason why a lot of people left England.
That's the reason why everybody left England. Literally everybody that got on a boat coming from England was like, yo, I am tired of
the colonizers.
I am tired of all the fucking colonizers. I am sick and tired of the rule of your tyranny telling me that I can't believe what I believe. I'm going somewhere else. Like, literally, that's what this country was founded on. And the fact that religion is a lot of what is informing the decisions of our government is fucking ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Also, can we talk about the women in, specifically, I believe it was Alabama, the governor who signed it into law. All these men made this decision, and she was on board with it, and she signed it into law. Like, she's not a woman that...
I literally was sitting there and I was like, you dumb bitch.
I was like, who?
And actually, Alabama was next on my list. Alabama, I think they have one of the most strict.
Yeah, there's, doctors can be fined and jailed up to 120 years.
It's a felony.
Yeah.
A felony.
Yep.
Georgia's another state. Ohio. What the fuck is wrong with our country? It's 2019.
It That don't mean shit.
It's 2019. All the shit that's coming to surface and all the things that are happening, it's like the progression that we had is just thrown out the window. And I think primarily because the person that we have sitting in the White House, or not sitting in the White House, that dumbass cunt. Anyway, moving along, because I can just talk about, hours about this. But there are lots of ways that we can try to combat this.
Mm-hmm.
There have been several protests, calling into your representatives, finding alternatives, taking away the decision of whether or not a woman wants to terminate her pregnancy. It's just going to open the doors for back alley abortions.
Yeah, it's not going to make the world any safer. It's not going to make the world any better to force women to go and get a back alley abortion.
It's not.
To limit what a woman can do with her own body.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people their number one argument is, well, if you don't want a baby, stop having sex. Or if you don't want a baby, then give it up for adoption. Well, there's
millions of kids in the foster care system.
Let me look up the actual statistic. Hold on.
But y'all don't even care for the kids that are in the foster care system. You throw these kids into foster homes that have 10, 12 kids. I mean, my family experienced some of our family members being in the foster care system, and it's hard getting kids out once they're in it. I feel like if they're not put in a good home or a good situation or put with their family, they do go through a lot, and you're just making it to where this number is going to just increase.
In 2017 alone, there were more than 690,000 children in foster care at any given moment.
And that number is just going to continue to multiply.
And then what is even more sickening about the foster care idea is that they will say that, okay, put the child up for adoption. Great. Now the child is floating around in foster care. If the child isn't adopted by the time they're 18, they're put out on their own, and the country does nothing for them.
No, they don't.
And that's why we have so many homeless teens outside of LGBT teens being thrown out of their homes, and just homeless children who have come from homeless families and all of that. On the flip side, queer people have a harder time adopting children, and they're the ones that always want to adopt a baby.
Queer people, black people.
I
have a friend, my friend with their families, they have adopted children, and they're sharing with me one instance where they were trying to adopt a white child, and the social worker told them that it would be a cultural shock for the child to be raised by black people.
Yeah, and it's not a cultural shock for a black child to be raised by white people. And there's a family that comes into the restaurant that I work at all the time, and they have one black daughter, and they're the sweetest white people I've ever met. Not just the sweetest white people, but they're the sweetest people I've ever met, and they are Caucasian. And they treat their daughter, like a kid. And the daughter comes in and she has her hair done and like protective black hairstyles. Like, they clearly take care of their daughter and keep her immersed in her culture.
Yes.
And then they were going to China to adopt another little baby, and then they brought that baby in, and she was just the sweetest thing. And it's great because they are maybe not necessarily affluent, but they are definitely much more well off than probably the child's mother. But at the same time, you can't say that a black family that's affluent or affluent-ish, or as I like to say sometimes, affluent adjacent, you can't say that a black family can't do that for a child.
Yeah. No matter what their race is.
Yeah.
Let's move on in the topic. So we talked about abortion. We got a little serious there for a moment. Let's bring up once or hellas.
Oh, once or hellas.
I love it. So while we're on the topic of sex, and you being African American bisexual man, I mean, I assume that you're open to a lot of things. But let's just go down the list.
Oh, I'm open to so many things.
Darius, once or hellas.
Okay.
Pegging.
You know what? I said in the episode that
Pegging by a woman.
No, I know.
Okay.
It's only pegging if it's a woman. Because if a man come at me with a dick and a strap on, I'm gonna be like, what's happening? You know, I'm gonna say once, and that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay, I was not prepared. I didn't write any of the things.
Honestly, I didn't write shit down either.
Yeah, I didn't write any of the things down that I was thinking earlier. Okay, we'll go for in the sexual world, it's called water sports. I'm talking about pee.
Oh Jesus!
I learned that from a friend. I learned that from the internet, but I learned that from a friend who was like, or who was saying something about something. And they were like, "Oh, are you into water sports?" He was like, "Yeah, I love water polo." And he was like, "No, I'm not talking about water polo." So water sports, once or hellas.
See, I have to choose once or hellas.
I guess, yeah.
Reluctantly,
What if you were the one peeing on the other person?
Reluctantly, once. Very reluctantly. I'm not kink shaming. That's just not my thing.
I feel you. Fair.
I don't want to pee on anybody.
Fair. R. Kelly, don't pee on me.
Who? Group sex.
Hellas.
I ain't mad about it.
No hesitation.
I ain't mad about it. You answer hella fast. Hellas.
Hellas.
Say it with your chest. Hellas.
Bukkake.
Why are you doing this to me? You know how I feel about this.
With the stipulation that it can't get on your face. For those of you who don't know, bukkake is basically a big jerk circle where a bunch of dudes come all over you.
Oh, and me being the wholesome woman that I am, I don't like it on my beautiful face. Reluctantly once.
Reluctantly once?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Hellas.
That was Darius, baby. In case you didn't know. I've run into recently people who are willing. Well, this is really getting real. This is really took a turn for the worse. I'm gonna bring it back.
Okay.
Bring it back.
I was ready.
Sex in a public place.
Hellas.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sex with food.
What you mean sex with food?
Like food involved in any way.
I'm fucking a fucking cucumber.
I mean, maybe you're getting fucked with a cucumber.
What you mean?
You and your partner have involved food in intercourse in some weird way.
Is a cucumber girthy?
It don't even necessarily have to be a cucumber. It could be anything. It don't have to be a cucumber. This bitch said there's a cucumber girthy.
I tried once, but if I like it, I might try it again. Once or hellas. Okay, I'm gonna go to left.
Oh shit! Oh
yeah,
shit!
Come for your ass.
Oh shit!
Yeah, cause you got me with that bukkake shit. I'm like really like trembling over here just at the thought of it. Yes. So recently, I've had people offer to do things to me while I'm on my period.
Oh boy!
Would you have period sex? Once or hellas?
Ooh. Ooh. Now who's quaking? Oh. I'm gonna go once. I don't know. Cause I feel like if you asking me if you want to, then clearly it's fine. But also my brain is like, no, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but a lot of women, which I don't know, because they're going through hormone changes, unfortunately, it is a very, very cruel joke that God has played on our vaginas. A lot of women are very horny during their period. Mm-hmm. So, whatever floats your boat, don't sink your battleship.
Yeah, I'm gonna go once. And if I like it, hellas.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm shook after that, y'all.
You should.
That was a lot.
Your turn.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do. This will be the last one.
This will be the last one.
I feel like you finna come for me.
Oh shit! Let me flip my wig. Oh man. Shit. See, there's a bunch of stuff that I could say that I know is gonna be a once. Listen, bitch. This shit happened last time. I know there's a bunch of shit that I can say that I know is gonna be a once. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to get you to think about it at least. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Fisting. Once or hellas.
You got vagina. Jesus Christ. I don't like you right now. Reluctantly, once.
Really?
Yes.
I would say never ever in my life.
I mean, if we had to choose once or hellas, if I had to choose.
Yeah, well, once.
Yeah.
Because
if I had a choice outside of once or hellas, hell no. You're not stretching me out. Like, no. Oh, no. I had to say a little prayer.
Okay. All right. Well, now that once or hellas has ended, that was tumultuous. I'm gonna go ahead and do our Black Owned Business shout out for this episode. Yes. Okay, so our first one is not necessarily a business. Mm-hmm. However, it is a movement, a social media moment that a very dear friend of mine is having. Elizabeth, who is the first black female firefighter to graduate the academy and be hired onto the St. Louis Fire Department in something like 10 years. She's been a firefighter now for a year and a half, I think, or something like that.
You go, girl.
Yes, you better do that. I literally was at her graduation. I said, "That's my girl.
You do that, girl.
You better do that."
Yes.
But she started a movement on social media, Instagram and Facebook, called Black Girls Fight Fire.
Okay.
And it is all about empowering female African American firefighters. And I just think that is so cool and so powerful, and I love everything that she's doing. She's really taking her platform and using it for a very positive thing. So I want to shout out my boo, Liz. I'll see you tomorrow because it's Wednesday and it's tomorrow, so we're going to a concert tomorrow, okay? And then my cousin, Uma, makes bracelets. And they actually are really beautiful. If you go to Facebook and Instagram, you can find her Bracelets by Lady O. I believe she does custom orders. I'm pretty sure she does. But she also just makes them in abundance and posts them. And she's like, these are up for grabs for XYZ price. Again, that's Bracelets by Lady O on Facebook and Instagram. And then Black Girls Fight Fire on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to y'all for doing mad black shit. And we love you.
Yes. Okay, so last week We ended the show.
I'm prepared this time.
You prepared, boo. You prepared. You knew that question was gonna come eventually.
I know it was.
But we didn't get as much feedback as we had liked. We had a hard hell no from one of our Facebook followers.
Yes.
And I totally understand. She said that she would question her man's sexuality. She wouldn't be down with it. It would bother her, which is understandable.
It's fair.
It's fair.
It's fair.
We had some people that, said they were experts. Well, we still want to hear from y'all.
We feel?
Yes.
This still the sex episode. We still want y'all to talk about pegging.
Pegging, once or hellish.
Oh my gosh, Shisha, look at your peg.
We're talking about actual four-legged animal, okay?
Four-legged animals. We're not sitting here naked.
No. He is like leaning up against the wall, face smushed. That's his aesthetic. That's what he likes to do.
We live.
Yes. So the shenanigan question, I'm just gonna call it the shenanigan question.
I love that.
Yes. The shenanigan question, I'm trying to find it here. Oh, and happy Pride Month.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Happy Pride Month.
Yes. To all the queers out there.
My little queer heart is singing.
And to all the queer advocates out there.
Yes, our allies, we love you.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, bitch. All month
and
long.
Pride didn't start as a parade. It started as a motherfucking riot.
Yes. And black trans women invented camp. That's it.
Yes.
Opulence.
Yes.
You earn everything. If you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you will understand that reference. I'll show you later.
Exactly. I know it. Okay, so if you clone yourself, I'm gonna give Darius a second to get this shit together.
Keep going.
If you clone yourself like you hop in like a microwave looking at shit, you go ding, and another version of yourself, the same age as you, everything you know this person knows comes out, right?
Shit.
Okay. And I mean, maybe it's a little narcissistic of me, whatever, but I would be curious if you had sex with yourself, your clone, is it considered gay, lesbian / lesbian? Well, I guess gay is the umbrella term.
Yeah.
Is it considered gay, queer, whatever term you like, or is it masturbation? Darius.
So listen.
I'm listening.
You said they got all my knowledge.
All your knowledge. They're you.
They're me.
You. In every sense that you are right now.
I don't know whether it's gay or not, but I'm going to let clone me suck my dick. I'm going to be like, ooh, is this?
You ain't swag. You ain't gagging.
I'm going to be like, is this what I have been blessing these niggas with? Bitch. So
hit yourself with the Gaga 3000.
With the Gaga 9,000, honey, deity status, we don't play. But to answer the actual question, I'm gonna say it's masturbation.
Okay, I would agree. I agree. I think it's. Cause like it's you, like it's me. It's like when you sit on your hand until it goes numb and then you jack off. That's not an actual thing. I'm lying. With some other hands. Hands.
No, I saw that on a TV show. He was like, "Have you ever sat on your hand until it went numb and then jacked off to pretend like it was somebody else?" And I was like, "That sounds like too much work. Too much work." So I'm gonna say it's masturbation.
Okay, I agree. I think it's masturbation, and like myself, I would be. And for you guys that don't know, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. I am a bisexual black woman.
Ew, yes.
So I want to see where my skills at.
Listen, because I've been laying it down.
Listen, I've been laying it down.
Trust me, I know.
Sexual awakening. Shut up.
Oh, bitch. You heard me scream on the other side of the phone.
Yeah.
I think that Clone Darius would do some damage, and I would be about it. And if it's gay, I mean, shit, I already fucked men anyway, so so well.
But go to our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Urban Proper Podcast. And of course, we're gonna share it on our personal pages as well.
Yes.
If you clone yourself and have sex with your clone, is that gay, queer, or is it masturbation?
Or are you just touching yourself? You your own Skittle.
Diddling the Skittle.
Diddling that Skittle with a little butter.
Darius. You had to marinate your beef.
Hey, everybody tells me it's pretty tasty.
Darius out here giving niggas high cholesterol with his butter dick.
With my butter dick. You want some of this butter dick, bitch?
I'll make you a shirt that say butter dick.
I would wear the fuck out of this shit.
I know you would.
I would wear the fuck out of this shit. Oh man,
but that's all we have for you this week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at urban_proper.
The underscore is in the middle, not at the front or at the end.
It's urban_proper. Not out, but yeah, you get it.
But you got it.
You get it. Follow us on Instagram as well at Urban Proper Podcast.
All one word, all lowercase.
Yes.
None of that fancy weird shit.
No. And we also have a YouTube channel.
We are Urban Proper Podcast on YouTube. You can find us. I will be uploading the first 2 episodes soon. For you all's listening pleasure, and then let us know if you want that visual podcast. We will set a camera up and we will let y'all see our faces.
And we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you like, what you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
We want to hear what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to hear, music in our background?
Yeah.
We're a new podcast. We want to cater to our listeners.
Yes.
Not too much that we're not ourselves, but we want to cater to you guys a little bit.
Within reason.
Do
y'all want a full ASMR episode?
Doing what?
Okay. This is Butter Dick on the track.
Hopefully that's not what your dick sounds like with a whole bunch of butter on it.
Okay, we gotta be done. Oh my goodness, I didn't think we were gonna make it through this episode.
I didn't think we were either.
Oh man, this was a fun one.
It was.
But we will see you guys next time. Like Shisha said, we're out.
Howdy.
Bye.